Hey guys, it's Mana here, and today we are going to do Alisa's good ending. So let's just hop right into that. Alright? I took the guitar from Alisa and tried to play the first chord. It was hard, as if my fingers were tied in a knot and didn't want to be in the right place. I used to be better before, but now I wouldn't even be able to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Well, wait a moment. Looks like you won't be a rock hero. She laughed kindly. It may be better this way, I hissed vainly, trying to remember the order of the strings to press. Well, the guitar started to make devilish sounds resembling the groans of a wounded dinosaur. My left hand fingers constantly missed the right frets, and my right hand didn't strike the rhythm. Let's call it progressive rock. Progressive? Well, give it back. She took the guitar away, and it sounded completely different in her hands. I felt embarrassed by my clumsiness for a moment. Had she always been this beautiful, or is everyone beautiful to me at this point? Whichever it was, I could not force myself to look away. You're gonna stare a hole through me if you keep going like that. Alisa laughed. Sorry. Embarrassed, I stared at my feet. You can look if you're so interested. With some effort, I opened my eyes and saw her continuing to unbutton her shirt. No words could escape my mouth. Besides, who needs words at a moment like this? What happened then was what was supposed to happen. At the time, I was unable to think of what was right to do, and I didn't want to. It just felt good. The light bulb burned out, or one of us turned off the light, but either way, the room was dark. I looked around her cabin and thought of something. Where's Ulyana? What, you're afraid someone will come in and see us? She grinned warmly. Could happen. I asked her to spend the night at another girl's cabin. Wait, so you planned all this? Well, not something like this, of course. She looked at me intently, smiled, and closed her eyes. Yeah. I stared at the ceiling for a while longer and soon heard the quiet, deep breathing. Alisa was asleep. My head ached suddenly. The alcohol seemed to be wearing off. Best thing to do in this case is to follow her lead and get some sleep as well. Before I finished the thought, I was already fast asleep. Today is the last day. Last day of what? I asked, completely confused. The last day of term. What? The hangover that seemed to have already passed a while ago made it a sharp comeback. Don't tell me you didn't know, Alisa asked in surprise. So you did know it? Well, yes, but I'd forgotten it somehow. And what should we do now? Actually, that wasn't the main thing that I was concerned about. If today was the last day, then everyone will go somewhere, so I can get out of this camp somehow. Well, I have no idea. Maybe we can still make it. I jumped out of bed and started dressing quickly. It was difficult as my coordination was badly disturbed by yesterday's lavish indulgence. What are you waiting for? Alisa didn't reply, but started dressing too. A couple of minutes later, we were standing at the deserted square. Let's go to the camp leader's cabin. After opening old Demetrius' cabin with my key, I found nobody inside. We checked the entire camp and found that we were alone here. After returning to the square, I sat down and covered my face with hands like a doomed man. I still felt sick, but now it turned out that I had to solve a serious problem. Where would they have gone? Well, to the district center, I guess. Do you know where it is? Approximately. Is it possible to reach it on foot? Don't know. And how long would it take on a bus? A couple of hours. Quickly, I reckoned how much that is in kilometers. Taking into consideration the quality of the Soviet motor car industry and Soviet roads, one could presume that it was quite possible to reach on foot, provided that Alisa knows the exact direction. Moreover, in my situation, it's not easy to decide on such steps. But we can't stay here either. Alone, without food, in a deserted pioneer camp? In real life, it would be a definitely bad idea, and I had no other choice but to treat everything happening as reality. Let's go. Where? To the district center. If you wanted to, you would understand. I can't understand without an explanation. It's okay. It's just idle talk. She stood up and went towards the road. No way. I lost my temper completely, so I jumped up, ran up to her in a couple of strides, grabbed her hand, and pulled her towards me. Hello! But I had miscalculated the amount of strength I could use, and we fell on the ground with Alisa lying beneath me. What, yesterday wasn't enough? Want more? Her face was glowing and her eyes were flashing. I felt really mixed up. I released the girl's hand but didn't stand up at once. I just wanted to understand, where did I go wrong? Why are you always thinking that you went wrong somewhere? Because you think so. Who told you that? I didn't. Because I can see it. You see everything, don't you? You see and draw conclusions that you shouldn't interfere, that you should lie low, say nothing. I draw conclusions based on logic. Are you sure that logic of yours is correct? I didn't know what to say about that. For some time, we were just laying there. I was completely confused, and it seemed that Alisa didn't want to continue our conversation. Finally, she pushed me away and stood up. Whoops, I keep doing that. Why are you here now with me? Because everyone left the camp and we stayed. I'm not talking about that. Well, because I like you. Finally, I dared to say it directly. Are you sure? And what about Lena? She was always next to you. Maybe she's too much work. And what about me? I'm very simple. Just snap your fingers and I'm in your bed. I wouldn't say it's that simple with her. Don't put words in my mouth. You say nothing, so there's plenty of room there. But you think for a dozen others. Well, she was absolutely right at that point. I didn't think anything like that. So, do I have to just simply believe all this? You don't have to believe. I'm not forcing you. But it's the truth, so I'm not going to make anything up. Words should be proven with actions. What actions is she expecting from me? Well, we could do it again, I said with a stupid smile. I had no idea how I had even dared to think of joking in such a situation, especially a joke like that. Sure, come on, Alisa said in a calm voice, walked to the fire and started to undress. I jumped up, ran to her, and grabbed her arm. What are you doing? Wait, I didn't mean that. Well, what's the big deal? Don't you need me just for that? Of course not. You got me all wrong. How should I get you then? She pulled her arms free and started crying. I lay down beside her, hugged her, and started patting her head. Everything is all right. Calm down. Leave me alone, she said through tears, but didn't try to free herself. You see, I had a hard life before this camp. I just haven't gotten used to this. I don't know how to act in situations like this. I've been alone for a long time. No friends, no loved ones. I have just forgotten how to feel and how to love. It's hard for me. It's so much easier not to get mixed up in those matters. Finally, it became just normal not to. And here we are, something I never could have imagined. It doesn't mean that I'm an egotistical bastard, although I guess it seems that maybe I am. I just can't do that right away. Alisa didn't reply and continued crying. But I know one thing for sure. There's nothing between me and Lena. She's a friend, nothing more. I never looked at her that way. And I need you, not only for what you think I want. I just don't know how to tell you the things you want to hear. They'd carry obligations. You see, I am in the kind of situation now where I don't even know what will happen to me in the next hour. And here, Alisa seemed to not be listening to me at all, or my excuses. Just didn't reach her. Well, I should be proud of myself. I made a girl cry. And which girl? Alisa, who at first glance seemed to be a complete stranger to any romantic feelings. You know, I can't make this decision for both of us. I can only say for myself that I'm ready to be with you, to support you, to protect you. But you, why do you need me? I have nothing in my soul. I don't know what I want from this life. Besides, I'm here now, but tomorrow I might be gone. Alisa stopped crying for a moment. Don't you understand that I already made that decision a long time ago? Then she looked up at me with teary eyes. I might have seen happiness in them for a moment. Alisa embraced me and tenderly kissed me. It was the best kiss of my entire life. No, it wasn't as passionate as the one last night, but there was so much tenderness, trust, and love that I just dissolved in her lips, in her arms. I forgot about everything, about the camp, about my past, and the doubts which were tormenting me a moment before. She was all that I needed, now, and forever. Beep! The kiss might have lasted forever, but suddenly a horn sounded nearby, as if from inside my brain. I turned to the road and saw a bus. An old Liaz, it looked like a regular one. We just lay and looked at it for a moment from some time. Soon the driver left the bus and shouted at us. "Hey, lovebirds, this is the last bus to town. Are you coming?" Only one thing is clear. I've returned as suddenly as I arrived there, without any reason or logic. Maybe there was some sort of explanation, but it's beyond my or human comprehension. And soon we had a band. Suddenly I discovered my talent as a composer. Having spent entire days and nights on the note editor and sequences, I started composing okay-ish things, at least in the opinions of the other band members and pals I showed my songs to. Quite soon we gave our first concert. Sound tuned, gadgets installed, set list all prepared, ready to rock. But it is a special day. We are not doing the warm-up. The other guys are doing the warm-up before our concert. Thus, our entrance is last. The club was empty, instruments are packed, and I'm waiting for the others so we can go home. "Hey!" I turned around and saw a girl standing nearby. Her tone wasn't too polite, but it wasn't hostile either. "I liked your performance." "Thanks." The darkness from the club prevented me from clearly seeing her face, but I was sure that it was extremely familiar to me. "And you—" I stepped forward. Exactly. It was Alisa. I froze on the spot, unable to speak. "What about me?" "Nothing. I just thought I'd seen you somewhere." I decided not to jump at her with questions about the pioneer camp. After all, it's possible that this girl merely looks like her, or something like that. Anyway, it was obvious that she was seeing me for the first time, or at least was pretending to. "Well, generally it's true," she peered. "My name's Simon." Forcing an artificial smile, I offered her my hand. "I actually know that." "How?" "Read it on the internet." "Yes, of course." "And you are?" "Alisa," she replied, somewhat confusedly. So I was right. But how right was I? Listen, did you ever go to a pioneer camp as a child? No. Why are you asking? It just seemed that I'd met you there." "How could you have met me there if I've never been there?" She laughed. "Yes, all of you musicians are somehow strange." "No doubt." "Well, I just wanted to say that your music is not too bad." Alisa turned to leave. I felt that I needed to do something, say something. "Will you come to our next concert?" "When?" To be honest, I had no idea myself. "Soon." "Yeah, maybe." "Send me a message." "Yeah, sure." We shared our contact details with each other. "Then I'll see you again, probably." She waved her hand and went out. Obviously, I have no idea if she was the very same Alisa I met in camp. Any number of theories were nullified by an absolute absence of facts. But at that moment, it was the last thing that concerned me, as I was filled with emotions both from the concert and meeting Alisa. After all, nothing's preventing me from calling her, and then we'll see. I smiled, shouldered my guitar, and started to walking to the 410 bus stop with my bandmates. Alright guys, that is the end of Alisa's good ending. That's it for now. Next time we'll do Ulyana's good ending. So I will see you guys later. I'm logging off now. And remember, do something nice for a stranger today. You may just save a life.